What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Brawl Stars video. Today we're going to be hopping straight into a topic that I really like talking about, and basically that is going to be speculation on possible new features that could come in future updates. Now again, I want to clarify that I have no guarantee this is going to happen. I have no idea if this is even on their list of things that they'd even possibly add to the game, but whenever I have an idea like this, I really just latch onto it until it either gets implemented or until I make a video talking about it. So that's what you guys are getting today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So guys, there are really two ways they could go about implementing this, and the first way would definitely work. The second way probably wouldn't be very well received, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The first way, and the most likely way I think that they could possibly go ahead and do this kind of thing, is really if they decided to make it so there were two different types of every single map, and they actually went into the rotation as separate maps. So like the night version and the day version of each map would actually be totally separate, and they just feature, you know, different effects and really different terrains and everything like that, essentially. But like it wouldn't actually be different terrains, it'd be the same terrains, just, you know, changed to a night version of them, which would have to have a bunch of different shaders and things put over top of them to make them look like they actually were at night. So it would be sort of like two different maps, but at the same time, kind of not. And that's something that we can definitely discuss in a future video if you guys want to see this more in depth. I could probably honestly edit it like it'd be, you know, if there was actually, you know, full-on shaders and everything making it so it looks like it's a night map, but we can get into that in the future. I've just done some sort of mock-ups today for the purpose of this video. But really, guys, that's the only way I can see it working. So the other way that people might bring up if they could implement this is sort of attaching it to time zones. The thing that I think would make this a bit of an issue is that it's going to obviously be a worldwide game, and people from all over the world are able to play with each other. You know, this isn't going to be like region locked, and you're going to be able to play from someone literally on the opposite end of the earth from you. So I definitely think that it's not very likely that we do see this kind of implementation. If there's going to be a day and night cycle sort of deal that goes on, and they make different versions of each map, it's going to probably be different versions of each map that are sort of given different effects and different tile sets that give the feeling of sort of being in a night version of the map. Now, how exactly would this look? Well, I've went ahead and photoshopped a screenshot from one of my most recent videos, and you guys can kind of get an idea as to how I think it would look. You know, it'd have this really nice blur, this really nice glow on basically your projectiles, on your attacks. Like if you're like a mortis, maybe your shovel would glow when you're attacking, and sort of just make it so it's going to be these really nice glow effects that are going to be coming off of everything that's changing. So your HP bar, your name, maybe when you get interacted with. So maybe if you shoot a crate, for example, and you guys are going to see that right now in the screenshot, basically maybe the HP bar lights up, just sort of indicate to every player that the HP bar has gone down. And likewise, you know, all of the projectiles and everything are going to be interacting from you to whatever you're shooting at, so they would light up as well, making it so there'd be this really awesome light effect that would happen in the game, in these maps, and make it so, you know, even though the visibility wouldn't necessarily be as good, it add another dimension to gameplay, and then would also be very visually appealing. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with something I'm going to be discussing in a future video, which is weather, and just generally, I guess, changing out the tile sets of different maps, and then just sort of having the same exact map, but different tile sets and different versions of that map, which is a really exciting concept, and definitely something that would add a lot of variance to experience in the game, and basically make it so, you know, no two games are going to be alike. If they're even on the same map, they're going to be played differently, and I guess possibly because of visibility or for other reasons, you know, going back to the day and night cycle type of deal, maybe have a little bit of a different experience to go along with them. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'm really excited about the concept of just, I guess, terrain changing, making it so that we have different ways that maps are going to look in general. You know, in, for example, Clash Royale, most of the maps look very similar, but they definitely don't function in the same way that, I guess, maps in Brawl Stars function, because they're very interactive, whereas in Clash Royale, it's really just like a game board more than anything else. So I guess that there's not really precedent for this with the ways that they've sort of implemented maps into their other games, but at the same time, Brawl Stars is kind of unprecedented as far as how much control we have over the characters that we're playing as, and generally how, I guess, complex everything's going to end up being because of that. You know, features that on the front end are like, oh, replays. We can just replay matches and stuff. It's not as simple as it sounds to replay a match or spectate a match in Brawl Stars as it is in Clash Royale, where, you know, they're just kind of writing down coordinates and times of deployment, recreating the match to show you the replay or the spectating of the match itself. So there's a lot more that goes into it, but that also means there's a lot more variation in the possible end experience for us as players. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity there for making it so, you know, different maps are able to be experienced in very, very different ways. But yeah, guys, I know this is a little bit of a short one, but you know what? I just wanted to talk about this very briefly, and let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this idea. Do you think a day and night cycle would be really, really fun? Do you think it adds some different variations to how you experience and play the game as a whole? And would it make maps that maybe you're a little bit bored of, that are a little bit stale at this point, maybe your Hard Rock Mines and similar, that have been out since literally day one of the game, do you think that it sort of freshen things up and make it so maybe you enjoy those maps again if they're a little bit stale to you at this point in time? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Really, let me know down in the comment section below. And guys, the final thing I want to talk about is that I would love to make a lot more of these. Making, you know, mock-ups in Photoshop and everything is a really, really good time to me. And I definitely can make a lot of different things in Photoshop. So if you guys have any ideas for future things you'd like to see in Brawl Stars as a whole, let me know down in the comment section below, and you just might see a video mocking it up, so maybe you can get an idea as to how well it would actually translate into the game itself. But that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace.